Hello, we're three of the authors of Catalyst. We're from the Centre for Educational Leadership at UCL Institute of Education. I'm Louise Stoll. I'm a professor of professional learning.
Hello everyone, I'm Carol Taylor and I'm a former associate professor at UCL.
Hello, and I'm Karen Spence-Thomas, also a former colleague of Louise's and Carol's. Chris Brown is our fourth author and he's not able to be with us today. So in this video, we will be talking about what Catalyst is, why we developed it as a card resource, and how you can use it for professional learning in your schools.
So Catalyst, what is it? It's a set of cards for school leaders to help promote conversations within and across their schools about the leadership of learning, encouraging leaders to change and develop their practice and reflect together on the impact of change on their colleagues and on pupils.
So why did we choose to develop Catalyst as a card resource? Well, at the Centre for Educational Leadership at UCL, IOE, bridging research and practice is really important to us. We believe it's important to present research findings in ways that enable practitioners and people to engage deeply with them and connect them with their own practice and their own unique context. And the message we often receive from practitioners about engaging in and with research are consistently similar. That is, they say to us, we really value it, we want to engage with research and in it, but we just don't have the time and the hours to read it, and we need it to be relevant and accessible and useful. Catalyst is our innovative answer to that challenge, and we hope it offers busy leaders at all levels an opportunity to engage in evidence-informed practice. So we wanted a resource that brings research findings to life in a tactile way. And many people we know love card games, and let's not underestimate the power of play for adults as well as for children. And in one deputy head described to us that Catalyst was a box of delights. Why? Well, it provides structure to initiate and engage in professional learning conversations that challenge and stimulate thinking. And it helps to develop a better understanding of skills in teacher middle leadership. It also supports skilled facilitation of these learning conversation, and it crucially supports leaders to track impact over time, and it stimulates changes in practice.
So how can you make use of Catalyst? There are two sets of cards in the pack. Research findings cards, answering the questions that Louise talked about earlier. There are 4 sets of smaller cards. And then there are larger honeycomb colour professional learning cards. So Louise is holding the professional learning cards and Carol the smaller ones. The research findings cards correspond to Catalyst's 4 themes, as I said. The professional learning cards set out ideas and processes that you can use to support colleagues and to use them themselves and to learn from the research findings. One example that we developed with a group of leaders, we explored with them how they currently shared practice within their schools. And we got them to audit their current practice in that respect, talk about things they did well, things they could improve. They shared these with each other in groups. We then introduced the red cards, which Carol has there, and asked them to read them and then identify which of the research findings on those cards they had discussed and which ones were new to them. From there, leaders prioritised areas for action that they could take as a result of this analytical and reflective discussion. So this is just one example of how you can begin to engage in Catalyst. You may also want to think about carrying out an inquiry around research findings. And there are many other suggestions that will help you get started in the facilitator guide that Louise has there, and that's included in the pack.
So what are people telling us about Catalyst? Well, one school leader has said Catalyst is brimming with professional learning practices, which we know work well. Another one told us that colleagues spend hours scratching their heads trying to translate research into tangible school outcomes in a way that doesn't involve spending hours reading research documents to no visible effect in the classroom. And she said, Catalyst now provides this long-awaited facility. So we hope that you'll enjoy exploring Catalyst and sharing it with your colleagues within schools, across networks, and more widely.